Yeah, this is a neat process. I mean, and I've been here since we first opened, so haven't really seen any other schemes beside this, so it's actually nice to see something different. My name's Chris. I'm the Turf and Grounds Manager here at SoFi Stadium. Today I'm going to be showing you how we transform from charger power to superchargers this week.
You know, a lot of work's gone into creating and bringing this theme and branding to life. It's been a years-long process in the works. The guiding direction through all this has been looking to the past, getting super inspired by the Air Coryell era, shots of fans in the crowd all repping the Charger Power t-shirts, and same thing when we've got superchargers. Really want to lean into that 90s, early 2000s era and this Charger Power, late 70s, early 80s.
When it comes to the general field layout, it's pretty routine. Grooming the field to get the rubber consistent, picking up debris, and putting a wet drag on. That way it kind of pushes that rubber down. So once that's all set, the guys will come out and lay out the stencil to the correct measurement, making sure that once your stencil is laid out, you measure with string top to bottom. That way you have a straight line. Everyone kind of just follows that to make sure that we're nice and crisp.
The field stuff actually was some of the pieces we locked down literally a year ago. You know, start with what is the uniform, what's on the field, and build out from there, defining these Charger Power and Superchargers themes to go along with these two new alternate uniforms, the best elements, the things that we like, and then eventually lock in. We've got the brand guide. This is everything that goes into Charger Power, the fonts, the colors, and this is everything that we have for Superchargers. We have so many great people on our team internally over this last few months of working on this stuff. Obviously the announcement in July, it's an awesome experience seeing just everything in the volume that we've been able to reach.
Painting normally here is done simultaneously. So once we dot out one end zone, have a midfield crew lay out the midfield logo, they'll dot that out. Same with the north end zone. The paint we ordered here is already pre-mixed, so all we gotta do is just stir it up, put it in the painter, prime the painter, and bring it out. Since the letters were smaller, I noticed that I asked for 6 more buckets to kind of get this paint down, so I want to say we used maybe around like 22 buckets, and it's 5-gallon buckets. So have a crew running the letters, they'll fill in the white, and then a crew right behind them, kind of cutting, doing some of the blue. Normally we'll have about 2 days of paint, so we'll have Friday, Saturday, and the games on Sunday. So normally we'll paint the white and midfield on Friday, and on Saturdays we'll do a background color. This week a little bit busier, so we ended up doing the whole paint job. So that's kind of the breakdown within the 2 days. On game day, we'll come in, make sure that everything's kind of visually ready, and if we need to touch up from the night before, you know, we'll do a little bit of touch up, but we typically don't want to be doing anything on game day. So on Saturday, that's when we'll come in. We missed a couple areas that we were kind of light on, and that's when we'll kind of touch up. So typically after a game, there's gonna be some type of post-game event that happens. We got a little bit of downtime once the game ends, but as soon as the field is cleared, that's when we'll come out and start scrubbing the paint. So typically, after a game, when we don't have a quick turnaround, we'll wash out the next day. For this week, for the Superchargers, we're gonna have to scrub out Sunday night, have to touch up Monday morning, just because we have a lot of things going on throughout the day. It gives a little bit of time to kind of touch up the areas that we didn't get 100%, and then we'll paint the letters and midfield logo on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, we'll finish the colors. You go through shoes like, like you're changing outfits, but most of the time, I mean, you just need something to be comfortable in. We are painting for, several hours at a time. So, being comfortable and I guess fashionable is, ultimately, there's a balance of where if you put too much paint down, you're worried about cleats going in and out. So, there's a balance to all that. So, got to be kind of conscious about how much paint is down. Yeah, it looks nice, but at the end of the day, we're here for player safety. At the end of it, when this all comes to fruition, like it makes us feel good, right? Like guys put in a lot of work throughout the week, trying to get the field right. And then when it comes to paint, I've been pretty fortunate to have the guys since the stadium opened up. So the guys know what they're doing. It's kind of like, when you go to work, right? You know the certain things to look out for, certain paints to mix and, and so forth. So yeah, it's nice to see everything kind of like a well-oiled machine. And yeah, it's great to see it on television.
We are here at SoFi Stadium. Charger Power Field, I don't think has ever looked better. We got the 1960s era Charger logo in the end zones.
I don't know if you can say there's buzz about uniforms, but walking into the stadium today, there's a little excitement.
We got the second consecutive game of a pretty darn impressive looking field. This, the Superchargers, the Navies. Pretty cool to be in the stadium again, to look down on the field and see something a little different.
At the end of the day, we're doing this for everyone else, right? This is the centerpiece of the stadium. So to get this right and, make it pop, is kind of what we're aiming for.